Hey guys, it's Rob, just doing some testing with this P2 Pro flight controller. So we'll take off in GPS mode.
Idle up.
And I'll just put it slightly above the horizon so you can see. And then we'll let it go into a GPS hover. So that's hands off now, just GPS hover. Okay, we'll do a yaw to the right. It moves about half a metre to the right during that, but then it comes back to its same position. Okay, so it's flying well. One thing with this, the braking in GPS mode is really nice and gentle. There's just no chance of it flipping like the Mini X does. I'll go full forward and release. So it just comes to a nice stop evenly. We'll turn around. I'll go backwards. And now forwards. Straight towards us and release. Yeah, so that side of it works well. What I'll do is I'll just demonstrate a return home.
Climbing.
And then we'll put it into manual mode. And come back.
Return to launch. Fail-safe on.
Okay, so the first thing it does is climb when it's in return home mode.
Return to launch. Fail-safe on.
Now one thing I notice it doesn't do, it doesn't turn around to face its return home, but that's no big deal. It just comes home facing the original direction. All very nice and stable. It's very similar to the way the NASA does the return home. It just pauses and then it descends slowly for the last section. Okay, that works pretty well. I'll start up again and get airborne. The other thing I wanted to show you was this intelligent orientation control, which it's like an automatic circle. We'll just turn around. So it's now facing directly towards me. I'm going to switch it into the other mode. And what I'm going to do is just put left aileron input, and it starts moving left, but what it's doing is it's flying around a circle, but it's maintaining its orientation towards the center of the circle. I've got hands off the controls now, and it's just continuing to orbit one position. Now I believe I can make the radius of that larger with elevator, so I'm just going to try that. Yeah, that radius is getting bigger now with elevator. I've got elevator held back and it's making the radius of the circle a lot larger. Let's see how big it gets. So the circle's quite large now and it's continuing just to circle. My hands are off the controls. It's circling and maintaining its orientation facing the center of the circle. completely automatically. Yeah, that's really neat. Now I believe I can make the circle smaller by pushing elevator forward, so we'll see if we can get that diameter a bit lower. Yeah, I can see it's coming in. Yeah, so the circle is quite small now.
8 minutes.
Yeah, that's going around a very small circle. So now what I've done is I've just put right aileron and it should start circling in the opposite direction. I think I've got the circle too small there, so I'll just widen it out a bit. I just applied some yaw there, that's why it changed. My elevator's on the same stick as the rudder. Okay, so I'm making that circle a lot larger.
7 minutes.
And I think we could probably slow down the speed at which it's going around that circle.
Climbing.
Yeah, I've slowed that rotation a lot now. It's just moving around the circle very slowly. Looks like you can slow it right down to.
Six minutes.
Yeah, so it's just doing a big, nice, easy circle, maintaining its orientation at the center of the circle. Now I believe I can control and fine-tune the yaw. Yes, which I can do. I don't know how that's going to affect where it points during the circling. Okay, we'll speed that up a bit. Okay, so what it's done, when I inputted the yaw manually, it's now locked its heading in one direction while it flies around the circle. Okay, it's alright. Let's go back to GPS mode. I'll face it towards myself again. Go back into
5 minutes. Attitude mode.
circle mode and let's see what it does. Yeah, so it's now flying around that circle again, maintaining itself pointing at me. It'll probably keep doing that until I touch the rudder input. Okay, so I'll just point it over in this direction and let's see what it does. Yeah, okay, so it obviously keeps pointing towards the center of the circle unless you put a manual yaw input, at which point it just maintains the last heading that you commanded and continues flying the circle. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, back into GPS mode.
Descending. Descending. 4.
Okay, I'm going to put it into stable mode, I think it is.
Manual.
Okay, and this one, the throttle control is quite different. Yeah, it's really nice and predictable. It's got a nice feeling to fly this controller. I haven't set it up with the sport mode yet, but I'll try that next time. Okay, so it doesn't have GPS hold in this mode. So let me just set it up and I'll let hands off. I'll take my hands off the controls now. So it's just drifting with the wind. Yeah, really nice and stable. Okay, we'll go back into GPS mode. Just take it away and we'll do one more return home. And return home. Let's see what it does. Yeah, so once again it just remains facing its original direction and comes back to the home point without turning around.